Hi guys, welcome to Finest Vehicles. Today we will look at cheap classic cars under $5,000. And stay tuned, because somewhere in this video we will present a fun fact that you will find very interesting. Number 10. The Pontiac Star Chief, made from 1954 till 1966, starting at $3,800 for a running example. We'll begin as far back as we dare, and although the Star Chief is priced near the upper end of our budget, a functional car can be had for less than $4,000. Throughout its entire production run, the full-size poncho elegantly bridged the gap between post-war round, uncomplicated designs and jet-age fins and ornamentation, culminating in its final years sporting the iconic early 60s Pontiac design language. You can get a flathead straight 8 from a first-year Star Chief, but the V8 options are good for later years, with displacement and horsepower increasing quickly each year until 1960, when the widely available 389 became available to move the large poncho sedan at a decent pace. Number 9. The Chrysler Windsor and Chrysler New Yorker, made from 1955 till 1961, starting at $2,500 for a running example. Similar to Star Chief, the Chryslers of the late 1950s were the first vehicles to enter the jet age of auto design. You can find a running Windsor or New Yorker for well under the cost of a summer job if you're not picky about appearances. Later models have some pretty amazing wings, so if the space racer design appeals to you, look for a 1961. There were plenty of V8 options available in these vehicles, making it comparatively simple to locate an early Hemi or big block Mopar. Number 8. The Chevy Nova, made from 1962 till 1979, starting at $4,500 for a running example. Another vintage vehicle that you can purchase for less than $5,000 is the Chevrolet Nova. Chevrolet produced the Nova from the beginning of the 1960s to the middle of the 1970s. It is a well-liked option for modification and restoration projects due to its small size and simple design, and it is a popular car for hot rodding. Certain Nova models, like the SS versions, which stands for Super Sport, had performance-focused features and higher performance engines. Collectors are more likely to pursue these models. Number 7. The Jaguar XJ, made from 1968 till 1992, starting at $2,500 for a running example. For little money you could own your very own luxurious British vehicle. If you're lucky, you might find one that already has the small block Chevy V8 swapped in for the straight 6 or even the complex V12. Whatever's under the hood, when tinkering with the abundance of Thatcher-era gadgets on the real wood dash, prepare for typical British issues like perplexing electrical gremlins. Number 6. The Dodge Dart, made from 1963 till 1966, starting at $2,400 for a running example. Since the market hasn't gone completely crazy for Ford Falcons and Dodge Darts like it has for their later muscle car cousins, this really could apply to any number of early 1960s compact cars. Still, those original Darts are excellent examples of that classic three-box American design era. In many parts of the country, if you're patient, you can find a V8 car for less than $4,000, and 6-cylinder cars are usually even less expensive. Number 5. The Studebaker Lark, made from 1959 till 1964, starting at $3,000 for a running example. The Studebaker Lark also ran in the same compact market as the Chevy Nova, Dart, and Falcon, and it is an odd bird. Studebaker gave the Lark 2 makeovers during its brief existence, which spanned from 1959 to 1964. The styling of the first 2 generations of the Lark truly stood out in the segment. It's interesting to note that the base engine on the Lark was a flathead 170 cubic inch straight 6, whereas its competitors were first to offer the V8, a 259 cubic inch engine. In any case, it's a fascinating talking point, and since these vehicles are essentially unheard of, you can get a very nice one for only a few $1,000s. It may be a little difficult to get parts, but that's all part of the fun. Number 4. The AMC Rambler Marlin, made from 1965 till 1967, starting at $3,500 for a running example. The Rambler, and later AMC Marlin, made its market debut before the Plymouth Barracuda, but the Cuda receives all the credit for having the greatest fastback design. Though many of them have had various small block AMC V8 engines or the original, widely used AMC straight-six engines swapped out for them, we still find the oddball Marlin to be kind of cool, regardless of what's under the sprawling hood. Similar to the previously mentioned cars, Marlin classified ads don't tend to feature a lot of so-called I know what I have posts because there isn't much of a collector market for them. Number 3. The second-generation Ford Mustang, made from 1974 to 1978, starting at $4,800 for a running example. Ford Motor Company debuted the iconic American muscle car, the Ford Mustang, on April 17, 1964. It is frequently credited with inventing the pony car category of vehicles, which consists of small, fashionable, reasonably priced sports cars with short rear decks and long hoods. The early 1970s saw a decline in the performance of American muscle cars, including the Mustang, as a result of tightening emissions regulations and shifting consumer preferences. There were still some potent variations available, though. In the market for classic cars, early 1970s Mustangs are typically thought to be more reasonably priced than earlier and later models. However, a number of factors still affect their value, including originality, condition, and rarity. Number 2. The Datsun 280Z, made from 1975 till 1978, starting at $2,500 for a running example. It goes without saying that Datsun's Z cars present a fantastic opportunity for some inexpensive enjoyment. The market has started to make it more difficult to find the 240Z and 260Z at a low cost, but the later and more common 280Z can still be found in good operating order for a fair amount of money. Many still drive straight sixes with 2.8 liters. The general consensus among Datsun owners is that any hint of complicated engine maintenance warrants the removal of a small block Chevy engine or, alternatively, a 4.3-liter V6 with an obnoxiously large turbo from the large engine bay. Before we go to the number 1 on this list, here's the fun fact of this video. Did you know that the first wipers on windshields were manually operated? That is not very handy. And now, for number 1. The Opal GT, made from 1968 till 1973, starting at $2,900 for a running example. Though these little beasts are incredibly cool, Opal's tiny two-seater really does resemble a 3/4 scale Chevy Corvette. The mechanically operated rollover, rather than truly pop-up headlights, are incredibly cool, and the power-to-weight ratio is strikingly similar to a first-generation Miata, despite being far less refined. Although they aren't particularly spacious, the GT attracts attention wherever you take it. These rarely fetch large sums of money, but if you do decide to purchase one, make sure to thoroughly inspect it for structural rust. Which one would you like to own? Give your opinion in the comments. Did you enjoy this video? Then please like and subscribe for more of the best new vehicle videos here at Finest Vehicles.